Alright, you lot, get your jaws off the bloody floor. I'm about to set something that'll make long-time COD vets spit out the dentures. I played Black Ops 7 beta, and, against all odds, against me every cynical fibre and 10 years of being emotionally waterboarded by Activision, I had fun. I actually enjoy myself. Now before you start thinking I've been bribed with a battle pass and a foot rub from Captain Price, it's reality. Only reason I even bothered booting this and up is that sweet little phrase, reduced SBMM playlist. That's it. That's what got me into it, and that is what made this thing playable. First I were rusty. Me aim were wandering like a pensioner looking for Greg's. I'd barely touched a shooter in a couple of months, but once I got settled, something strange happened. I wasn't faking game. I were learning it. I were actually getting better. Not just being fed to esports wannabes on G Fuel and parental disappointment. Guns? They're guns. Point, shoot, repeat until they stop moving. I'm no firearm expert. I'm not here to tell you if recoil feels like a wet fart or an AK-47. I just know some felt right, some didn't. And figuring that out was fun again. Trial and error used to be game. And for once, it actually is again. And audio? By COD standards, it's bloody miraculous. I could hear people, directionally. Not a muffled mess or someone tiptoeing with ninja perks and full clown shoes. Didn't fix me trash aim, but at least I knew who'd killed me and where from, which is more than I can say for most modern shooters. I know some players had issues, but for me it was fine. Movement? Listen's a bit Marmite. It's got a bit of bounce, bit of wall jump, a dash of, wait, what was that? But once you get hang of it, it opens up options. I didn't see too many people abusing it yet, probably still figuring it out, but I guarantee come launch day, you'll see wall lumpers flying around like caffeinated kangaroos. Still, it's there, it's useful, and for now, feels earned. It's bit that damn near gave me emotional whiplash. I earned all 3 kill streaks. Me! In a modern COD! Not just UAV and then 20 deaths in a row. I actually chained some kills together and called in kinda chaos we used to live for. That hadn't happened in years. I thought I were hallucinating. And lobbies? Glorious chaos. You had your usual sweaty twonks running their influencer loadouts and pretending every match was CDL tryout, but for once they weren't dictating all match. There were low skill players learning ropes. I watched one player get better during a single game. Actual progress. Real humans improving in real time cause they weren't being insta-murdered by bots with pulse rifles and TikTok montages. I felt it too. I improved, I got better. And not cause I were babbied by SBMM handholding, cause I had room to breathe. It almost felt like real Call of Duty were back. But hold your celebration, cause now comes bollocks. Cause while Black Ops 7 might have flirted with greatness, it still walks with a limp and parts patch notes. Starting with Hitreg. It's not broken, but it ain't perfect either. There were a few moments where my bullets ghosted through players like I were firing rubber bands at ghosts. Now I'm not one of these sweaty basement dwellers screaming "desync" every time I lose a 1v1, but it's there. Subtle, annoying, just enough to get Reddit warriors forming like they've been personally betrayed by netcode Jesus. But it's bigger cockle, UI. Bollocks decided that slapping kill pop-ups and score counters right in the middle of the screen were a good idea. We're in a first-person shooter, not a bloody mobile idle game. I get it, people like numbers. Oh look, 500 XP for avenging me mate. But shove that off to the side where it belongs. Blocking my sightlines in a Twitch shooter is like putting subtitles over someone's face in a film. You're not helping, you're just pissing on pacing. Maps. Hey, on paper they've got sacred 3-lane structure we all love. In practice, too many cross-lane sightlines. Too many spots where high ground dominates. Look, I know Obi-Wan said it's over when you've got high ground, but I didn't expect COD maps to be designed by Anakin's trauma counsellor. Not everyone's here to wall run like it's Titanfall. Some are boots on ground, aimed out sights, get stuck in kind of players. These maps shouldn't punish you just for existing on lower level. Balance, bastard. Oh, an absolute clown show? Update requires restart. Every bloody time. Up game? Hey mate, before you play, mind restarting? Yeah, I bloody mind. If I've only got 30 minutes and you eat up 15 of it with mandatory update boot loops, you've just told me to go play something else. And guess what? I will. This is exactly why casuals walk away. If you don't fix that crap before launch, might as well have Battlefield 6 Victory cigar and a bottle of scotch. So yeah, you made a fun game, but Limp's still there. It's just hobbling slightly faster than last year. And with that we stumble on to next issue, one nobody wants to say out loud. Let's not kid ourselves, yeah? You can slap Black Ops name on tin, but when you open it up, it's just Modern Warfare in cosplay. Not a bad game, but it's not Treyarch. It's just Modern Warfare 3 wearing Halloween costume and hoping no one notices. Same engine, same animations, same damn live service foundation. They've recycled bones and glued on some Cold War wallpaper, hoping it distracts us from smell of reheated leftovers. Look, I get it, Activision's chasing that live service wet dream. They want COD to be Fortnite meets McDonald's, overpriced, fast, and always open. But that model only works when your game's free to play, not when you're selling full price boxes every year like it's still 2008 and people aren't broke and pissed off. You've got Warzone, that's your cash cow, that's your monetized hellhole. Let it stay there, wallowing in its gulag grind, while mainline COD gets to breathe again. Let Treyarch be Treyarch. Let them make something that don't feel like it were focus groups by Wall Street. Cause as it stands, this whole thing feels like a live service skeleton dressed up in nostalgia. And every time I start enjoying it, some recycled system from last year's disaster reminds me I'm still in the same bloody treadmill. Zombies? Surprisingly decent. I played it with my lad and actually had a good time. Yeah, it's still got loadouts and shield vests, and that still feels like Warzone's fungus spreading in good parts. But for once, felt like an actual zombies experience. Tense, chaotic, full of oh bollocks moments. That's juice. That's what we want. If they lean into that and stop trying to make zombies another PvPvE crossover TikTok simulator, we're golden. Campaign though? Not available in beta, but don't hold your breath. It's more futuristic Black Ops nonsense. Which is fine if you're into tactical time travel and sad soldiers whispering about mission, but I've never been asked about it. Let's be real, nobody pre-orders COD for campaign anymore. It's a side salad at a kebab shop. If it's edible, it's a bonus. Bottom line, bones are still Modern Warfare, and until they ditch that engine and stop copy-pasting from every failed Battle Pass blueprint, we'll never get a real Black Ops back. This is just Modern Warfare with face paint and Treyarch logo duct taped to its ass. But let's talk deal breakers, and I'm bringing a list. This is where Treyarch made me edit script a bit. First up, SBMM. You need to keep reduced SBMM. Not a part-time feature, not an LTM playlist, not a bloody test. Needs to be core at multiplayer. No more hiding it in menus or pretending it's experimental. COD were built on chaos, not matchmaking algorithms written by caffeine-addicted interns trying to balance kill-death ratios like it's an Olympic sport. I'm not here to be soft-matched into a sweatbox cause I had one decent game. I want to play. I want to learn. I want to improve. And I want random Gloria being either hammer or nail, not stuck in some corporate-approved echo chamber of fairness. Reduced SBMM makes game fun, so if that gets binned after launch, then you can bin my interest too. Second, persistent lobbies. You're bringing them back. You know, like we used to have before someone decided word social were toxic. You meet people, you banter, you add them. That's how gaming used to work. Not this matchmaking speed date bollocks where at moment a game ends, we all get thrown back into void like we're in some Black Mirror Tinder for FPS junkies. You tried bringing them back once before, and you hid it. Tiny little toggle at bottom of the screen with no announcement. What were you scared of? People having fun? Do it properly this time. Make it standard. If someone wants art, they can back art. Simple as. Third, chat monitoring. Cut the crap. We're adults playing an adult-rated game. If you're scared of banter, you're playing wrong genre. Yeah, sometimes people cross line, and when they do, lobby sorts them out. Always has. We don't need Big Brother recording every fart and sneeze for safety analysis. You say it's to protect kids. Here's a better idea. Kids shouldn't be in bloody lobby to begin with. Use Xbox's age verification system properly. If an accountant verified 18 plus, block voice chat. Hell, block game. You've got tools. Use them. Then if little Tim is squeaking in lobby, it's not on you, it's on idiot parent. Your ass is legally covered. And restaurants don't have to watch what we say like we're doing stand-up at HR seminar. Put out a statement. Be blunt about it. If you're a child and your voice is heard in Call of Duty, you will be banned. You've got money, you've got lawyers, Make it happen. Last, Ricochet. Start naming fucking names. Don't just throw out some vague tweet saying 97% of cheaters were banned in 30 seconds. Show us. Drop names. Drop proof. And if a big streamer is caught cheating, ban them. Put their name top at list. No special treatment. Audience don't care about influencer, they care about game. If a popular content creator gets yeeted because they were wall hacking for clout, good. They'll find another legit one to watch. COD's audience isn't short on people screaming into a mic while they kill 12-year-olds, but we're short on trust. So build some. No more double standards. No more soft touch PR nonsense. Bant bastards. All of them. Loudly. That's your list. Reduced SBMM. Persistent lobbies. Cut voice monitoring. Ban cheaters with extreme prejudice. See its final word. After everything. Fun. Flaws. Decade of betrayal finally twitching on operating table. Where does Black Ops 7 land? Honestly, if, and that's a massive if, they keep reduced SBMM, persistent lobbies, and stop treating grown adults like primary school students with voice chat monitoring, then Black Ops 7 could be best Call of Duty since Black Ops 2. No joke. I said it. Clip it. Frame it. Tattoo it on a dev's ass. I don't care. Multiplayer was solid. Zombies were shockingly decent. Gunplay, audio, learning curve, all felt like COD trying to remember who hell it used to be. And if you give me that with systems that respect me time and sanity, I'll play. I'll enjoy. I'll even recommend it. But let's talk about Dark Cloud hanging over a potentially great game. Game Pass price hikes. Microsoft's accountants decided they'd like to burn $300 million and then recover it by mugging subscribers in broad daylight. So now a massive chunk of player base has already cancelled their subs. Pre-orders have tanked. Players are refunding after beta codes like it's a scam coupon. And not forgetting those god-awful cosmetics making the game look like a fucking clown show. Please, Activision, leave them in Warzone. They seem to love them over there. See, now we're seeing cracks. Battlefield 6, as cursed its name once was, is suddenly making great moves. Kind of decisions COD players have been screaming about for years. If EA gets that launch rate and Black Ops 7 fumbles just one key mechanic, then this game, despite actually being good, could face one of the lowest player counts in COD history. Not absolute bottom, sure, but it'll be down there in gutter next to Infinite Warfare, Vanguard and Activision's Conscience. And all cost suits at top keep trying to outsmart players instead of just listening. COD just hit brakes before slamming into irrelevance. Now Black Ops 7 actually has a shot. A real one. So here's what I'm saying now, and I mean it. I've got cash. I've got time. I've got itch. But I'm watching. If they fumble this launch, if SBMM creeps back in, if lobbies break, if games so much as sniffs like Fortnite 2.0, I'm out. But if the outline, Treyarch, you might just bring COD back from fucking dead. Like, subscribe and all that bollocks. Drop your comments and questions below with a snarky twist. And I'll see you next time, you magnificent.